Drifting through the vastness of wild space, consuming everything in its path, an eldritch force of pure entropy. This is the Blob of Annihilation, one of the most terrifying creatures in the new D&D Monster Manual. If you have not noticed yet, Wizards of the Coast has just published a brand new Monster Manual with a focus on creating creatures that have higher challenge rating and higher levels of threat greater than the Tarrasque. Oh my goodness. From just a quick look, this creature caught my attention, and so I'm going to do an entire walkthrough of this new creature and then even give a breakdown of a campaign you can write that is just focused on this one creature. I'm also going to put this as part of a playlist where I intend to go through every single creature in this new monster manual, go over their stats and how to use them in combat, but this one ripped my attention. When unleashed, the Blob of Annihilation doesn't just destroy, it erases. It engulfs landscapes, suffocates creatures, and dissolves them into nothingness. The only things that can withstand its touch? Magic items and the corpses of titans and gods. So what's inside of this thing? A deep swirling void, this blob? For the foolishly brave, this blob isn't just a horror, it's an opportunity. Buried within its endless mass could be a deck of many things, the skull of a death god, or even the freshly consumed corpse of a Tarrasque that the party could harvest. But is it worth the risk? Most who enter will never return. For combat, this thing has an armor class of 18 and 448 hit points, as well as legendary resistances. The Blob of Annihilation is a nightmare on the battlefield. It shrugs off most damage, resists magic, and moves with terrifying speed. It can lash out with crushing pseudopods, it can engulf entire parties, and even hurl restraining globs that drag victims inside of its mass. And if you do manage to kill it, it simply implodes, launching everything into the astral sea before reforming in some distant world years later. So, if you ever see a horizon-darkening mass rolling towards you, swallowing mountains whole, take Vi, the Artificer's advice, run, and if you can't escape, pray that it is a quick death. Here are some ways that you can use a creature like this for an entire campaign. The premise, this creeping oblivion. The world stands at the precipice of annihilation. A cosmic entity of pure entropy, the Blob of Annihilation, has reached the material plane, devouring everything in its path. Kingdoms have fallen, gods remain silent, and entire regions have vanished into the void. Can the party uncover the mystery behind its arrival and stop it before nothing remains? This creature gives you this apocalyptic horror theme, this dark, gritty, survival-based timeline. This blob is a slow-moving but unstoppable force of destruction. The world is in chaos as cities have now become nomadic, fleeing this path. Resources dwindle as lands are swallowed and refugees struggle to survive, and the party must make difficult moral choices. Who do they save when an entire kingdom faces annihilation? Would they sacrifice one city to buy time for another? You get this cosmic mystery element for the investigation in multiversal travel. The party can learn that something or someone summoned this blob, but why? Clues may lie in ancient ruins and lost civilizations and forgotten tomes of the gods, and they must travel between planes, from Sigil to the astral sea to the far realms to unravel this entity's true nature. The blob may also contain remnants of deities and artifacts. What secrets lie within that may then reveal how to actually destroy this thing in the endgame? Epic fantasy is an option here. You get this war against the end. Greatest heroes, warlords, and mages are going to unite to fight this blob. The party must gather legendary weapons and lost artifacts to challenge it. The gods, the pantheon, may also be divided, some wanting to banish this creature, while others may see it as a cleansing force for the world to have a restart. Gives you the opportunity to leverage this final battle, this mythic scale war at the edge of existence. And so you could break this campaign down into 3 acts. Acts 1, the first signs for levels 1 to 5 for this party. Things like strange omens as a shadow looms over the sky. Small pockets of annihilation begin appearing. Villages are swallowed overnight. The party can investigate ancient texts and uncover whispers of a doom beyond the gods. And then an early encounter with a small fragment of the blob might exist where they barely survive. Act 2, think of this as escalation, levels 6 through 12. Entire nations are falling. Cities are swallowed in a single night. The blob's contents are revealing glimpses of past deities and forgotten horrors. The party can learn of a hidden means to stop it, but they must also learn that they have to enter the blob to do so. Cosmic cults exist worshipping this blob, believing that it will end the universe, or it is the will of the universe and they've just submitted to it. And then the party has a major moral choice. Do they try to contain the blob, banish it, or maybe even weaponize it? Then Act 3, the final stand for your final wave, levels 13 to 20. The party enters the blob and navigates a world of shifting entropy and dead gods. Maybe a trapped divine being is inside and it reveals the truth. Was this blob an accident or a punishment? The final battle, the war at the edge of annihilation. The party then has an option to reset reality, maybe even sacrifice themselves within this blob for a greater end, or find a way to control and subdue the chaos. Think about some plot twists or major events you can thread throughout this. The blob is alive. It isn't just entropy, it's sentient and an imprisoned force. Maybe there's a villain from inside who seeks to control it, a lich, a warlock, a fallen god, and it's using the blob as a weapon. Time is running out. The blob reforms every 1d20 years, and the only way to stop it is to change fate itself. Maybe the party was meant to die. A prophecy states that they were already consumed, and that they are ghosts or echoes or some form of anomalies. And maybe there's a lost god inside, a forgotten one that has the power to twist fate and restore reality back to how it should be, and the party can rescue them. And you can have the party then have the choice. Do they erase the blob? Do they seal it away? Do they control it? Or do they accept the entropy, hoping for a better restart? This could be the ultimate high-level campaign, leading to legendary, reality-altering choices. So there's an option for a campaign. What kind of story tone do you want? And how would you want to leverage this creature, the Blob of Annihilation, in the new Monster Manual? For more videos like this and other highlights of monsters throughout the Monster Manual, give me a follow and a subscribe. Stick around here at Riddle and Rule, where I plan to just expand on and dive into all of the rule books and ways to use them at our tables.